What's up guys, Nepenthes here, and welcome to a 1 billion coin pack opening.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the game of my life.
So here it is, look at this team, check David Luiz Dante, everyone is just pace abuse.
Right, come on! Oh my... No! No! Ah!
So we're going to have a look, guys, of course, at what content is here today. There does not appear to be any a single draft token pack. What does that even mean? It is, yep, that is it.
Stop crying. You're making noises now? You look like the Incredible Hulk. Jesus, you're spitting on my shrimp. No. Jesus Christ. I gotta stop.
Are you struggling to win on FIFA because your team is really bad?
This team fucking sucks.
Do you need coins for a cheeky new team? I need it! You can head over to u7buy.com for cheap, fast and reliable coins, and if you use code Mcjell, you'll get a 5% discount. Alright boys and girls, so today is going to be a bit of a different day. I mean, you can probably tell already. I mean, it's pretty fucking obvious why today is different. Alright, FIFA 14. We're playing FIFA 14 today. Now, sadly, lads, you can probably tell from the intro, if you weren't already aware, the servers are down on FIFA 14, which massively sucks because I would love nothing more than to play a bit of Ultimate Team, dive into the World Cup mode, and go on a full nostalgia session with you guys. But for obvious reasons, you know, this game is, what, 6-7 years old now. You know, EA turned the servers off for this game, which, again, kind of sucks, but it is what it is. So, guys, I kind of just figured that we jump into a bit of kickoff, and we just have a bit of a nostalgia session today, you know? I've got a couple of talking points that we can talk about revolving around FIFA 14 and why I believe that FIFA 14 was such a good FIFA and why FIFAs nowadays just aren't quite living up to, you know, the same standards that FIFA 14 and 13 and all the prior FIFAs set. So yeah, we'll just play a bit of kickoff and we'll talk about some random shit. Who are we gonna play against? Maybe like Chelsea, Liverpool, Chelsea. Now I did do one thing, boys and girls. I did add a cheeky little player to our team. Veron is in this game. Okay, he's not an icon. He's a 77 rated player, so I thought, well, hell, let me move it. Let me move him into the Liverpool team, and you know, we'll see how cheeky those long shots are, even over onto these 77 rated. As for the difficulty, boys and girls, I have no idea. I never really play single player other than for like squad battles and stuff, which obviously I don't want to play. Let's go legendary. I'm not completely sure that's a good idea. I think that could go badly, but fuck it. We'll try it, boys. We'll try it. We'll see what happens. The fact that the graphics don't even look that bad compared to like FIFA 21. They're not great or anything, but this is like a 6-year-old game, boys. It doesn't look bad at all. We've also got Martin Tyler on commentary. We don't have that anymore in FIFA 21. Just one more thing Are you serious? We're 2 minutes in. What the fuck, man? That was brutal. I just got kickoff glitched by the CPU. So yeah, boys and girls, I think the first thing I want to talk about mainly is the FIFA YouTube scene back in FIFA 14. It was one of the, like, more than the game itself, I feel like the just YouTube scene, like the quality of like FIFA YouTubers was so good back in like FIFA 14. Obviously we had like old school KSI, we had Road to Shore, we had Mini Minter, we had so many good, oh no, come on Mcjell, come on, listen, this is a different FIFA. Okay, listen, no, listen, he didn't score it, but no, but let's drop it down to world class. This is getting ridiculous. Yeah, lads, back then, I feel like the FIFA YouTube scene was it just had so much variety, you know? There was so many unique YouTubers, whereas now, there's a lot less, you know? Obviously, we don't have KSI anymore. Road to Shore does upload, but it's mostly pack openings, you know, but back then he used to do wages and stuff like that. But I feel like all the FIFA YouTubers these days, well, not all of them, but most of them, take the game a little bit too seriously, I feel like. Like, everyone's, like, a good player. You know, there's not too many, like, YouTubers that Why is CPU good? This is world class now. Stop it, Lampard. But yeah, I feel like a lot of FIFA YouTubers these days take the game extremely seriously. Like, the game has literally just become meta. Like, you know, that's pretty much the entire game and the entire community. I will say, though, there have been a couple of YouTubers recently that have sort of broken that mold. Like, for example, Danny Aarons. The guy is, like, you know, he just has fun with the game and he makes amazing content. So I'm kind of hoping to see a few more YouTubers like Danny Aarons just have fun with the game, not worry about the meta, just making fun content, which is what, like, FIFA 14 was literally about. Like, you wouldn't see pro players back then, you know, because there was no FUT champs. People didn't really know how, like, this game was just about fun. So all the FIFA YouTubers just had fun with it, you know? And you don't really see that as often now. It is mostly about, you know, getting top 100, pro players. It's all about, you know, how good you are at FIFA now. I feel like that fucking hell, man. I am shite.
What the hell is going on?
It's so competitive now with FUT Champions, and I like FUT Champions, you know? I think FUT Champ was one of the best modes, but people take it way too seriously, man, to a point where even your average, like, gold player plays, like, the sweatiest, shittest play styles, you know? They play, like, as if, like, their fucking life depends on it. No fun whatsoever. Everyone's got the same teams. Everyone's concerned about the meta, and it's just, I don't know, man. Back in FIFA 14, the word meta didn't exist at this time, alright? You know, obviously there was the sweaty players that you would get, but you could pretty much use any kind of fun team however you wanted, and it didn't matter. Like, it literally didn't matter who you'd have in your team. You know, I remember my ultimate team had, like, Demba Ba and Benteke up front. I used to just spam crosses to those two, and they just win every header. Nowadays, like, if you haven't spent at least $1 million on your, and I mean like $1 million coin team in FIFA 21 is a bad team. That's considered a bad team now. If your team is $1 million coins, you'd have so many just average teams. Whereas now it's just so sweaty. Now, I don't think that's entirely a bad thing. You know, I think it's good to have a variety of players to play an ultimate team. It keeps the game fun and fresh, having all this content. But at the same time, I just kind of do miss the casualness of FIFA 13 and 14 and FIFA 12. It was so casual, you know? And I do kind of miss that. This is why I like to try all these different kind of players on FIFA 21, is just to have fun. You know, that's why I use players like Veron, Nedved, and, I don't know, El Naziri recently, like Player of the Month, who I absolutely love. Like, players like this, for me, keep the game fun. I'd much rather use a card like Player of the Month El Naziri than Mbappe. I just think it's way more fun to me. But yeah, if we just had a few content creators, a few more that just don't take the game as seriously, you know, like Danny Aarons, myself, and, you know, there are a handful of people out there, but just there's not many of them. Just, again, it's all about getting top 100 and how good your team is, how meta your team is and stuff. And I feel like that then would, like, reflect onto the community a bit more. Like, more people would just be concerned with having fun rather than the meta. But anyway, let's move on to another talking point, okay? And this one's just more about FIFA 14, okay? The World Cup mode. Possibly one of the greatest things that EA's ever done. It come out of complete nowhere. I don't think anyone expected it at the time. It was the literally most fun thing ever. It was so good. You could, if you guys weren't, like, playing the game by then, maybe, well, you would have maybe played FIFA 18's World Cup mode. It was basically the same as that, but in my opinion, it was done a lot better in FIFA 14. The way they did icons in FIFA 18's one kind of killed the game. There was basically like an icon pack that was super cheap in the FIFA 18 World Cup mode, and it just kind of killed the game off because everyone had, you know, literally like a full icon team pretty much.
This is brilliant, but I like this.
And if you won the World Cup, like the actual mode, like you would have the group stages, and then you'd have like a free games, I feel like. And if you won the World Cup, you'd get like some really good packs back, I'm pretty sure, and you got like coins and stuff. It was absolutely brilliant. It was just a really fun mode, and I think about it now and I'm like so nostalgic about it because that summer was so good. Like, I just, no worries back then, just used to come home and, you know, from school, play some FIFA 14, you know, jump on World Cup mode. It was the best, man. Watch football as well at the time. Like, obviously that World Cup was fantastic. I remember James Rodriguez just tearing apart that tournament. The nostalgia, lads, it is at a high peak in 2014. It was easily one of the best things that EA's like ever done. Like, it was so good. I really don't think I could do a video on FIFA 14 without talking about some of the most overpowered like players in all of Ultimate Team history. I mean, seriously, this FIFA just had some of the most broken cards of all time. I mean, you had Ramirez, literally, like that CDM card of Ramirez players, you get them for super cheap, was absolutely god tier. You have players like Willian, who obviously these days not that great, but in FIFA and this time it was great. And you had Sherla, you had, I don't know, I'm trying to think off the top of my head, Benteke was so broken in this FIFA. There was Sturridge, and there was Remy, and there was just so many sweaty cards. I mean, Raheem Sterling had a 76 rated card that was super overpowered. Felipe Santana, literally a FIFA legend, that card was so broken at centre back. But yeah, there was one card that rose above anyone else, okay? There was one overpowered card that just, and you guys know exactly who I'm talking about, I'm sure. Like, there was one card that was so broken in this FIFA, like infamously broken, 77 rated Colombian man that goes by the name of Ibarba.
What the f is that? Holy Jesus Christ.
It might be the most broken card of any FIFA ever. It was so good. Well, that was a pretty tragic game. I didn't even have a fucking shot. Let me keep it on world class. But let me play, like, West Brom. Let's do West Brom. It's also worth mentioning with FIFA 14, the soundtrack to this FIFA, so good. One of the best ones by far. Some really good tracks in here. I can't really remember any of them off the top of my head, but I do remember it being really good at the time, and I'm sure if I heard some songs, I'll be super nostalgic about it. And here's the thing with these older FIFA lads, okay? There really wasn't much to do on Ultimate Team. Like, if we're being honest, obviously this one introduced the World Cup mode, but obviously that was very late into the summer. Go on, Philip Coutinho. Okay, that's terrible. Before the World Cup mode, there really wasn't much to do on Ultimate Team. There was literally daily knockout tournament, which gave you like a 5k pack, and was never really fully utilised at this point. I think it was FIFA 16 that really utilised the DKT. And then you had seasons, which obviously I much prefer to rivals. You know, seasons I will take any day of the week, but you didn't really get that crazy rewards for it, even if you won like Division 1. Go on, Philly Coutinho. Go on, Philly Coutinho. Unlucky lad. Yeah, that was pretty much it. You would do that, you would spam seasons, maybe play against your friends, but, you know, for the most part, Ultimate Team was extremely casual. You know, I certainly didn't sweat Ultimate Team back then. I played it every now and again, but I certainly didn't play it every single day. I like the fact that it was super casual and not sweaty and just fun, but at the same time, I play the more recent FIFAs, like FIFA 17 onwards, you know, obviously because of FUT Champs. I play those FIFAs so much more. You know, but the problem is again, it just became, certainly these days, you know, FIFA is purely a sweat fest. Like, after like the first few weeks of FIFA, when all the casual players just stop playing because they're like, fucking hell, you know, because people have like god squads within like 2 weeks of FIFA. It's ridiculous now. It's a double-edged thing, where it's like, I like the casual elements of these older FIFAs, but I also like having stuff to do, you know, and FIFA's like, you know, these recent FIFAs, there's always something to do. There's objectives, you know, rivals, but yeah, I don't really care for that. Go on, lads. Good cross. Go on, Suarez. Play that. I see you, Veron. Play him out. It's Veron. Veron has got himself his goal. The first goal of FIFA 14 for many years.
That's beautiful.
So yeah, I like having stuff to do, but at the same time, I just miss that casualness, you know, if you guys know what I mean. I miss when just people had fun more than anything. I would love, like, FIFA 17 was perfect. This is why FIFA 17 is my favourite FIFA. Yes, it was pretty sweaty, but the game hadn't completely lost its casualness, you know. People still took the game a lot less seriously than they do now. You know, there wasn't a promo every single week. Not everyone had a full god squad. It was the right balance, you know. These days, like, it's disgusting, some of the teams you come up against. You know, it's the same thing. It's Ferland, Mendy, Varane, Mbappe, Neymar. You guys have seen the team a billion times. People have got no creativity anymore. It's all about getting the best results and getting the most wins, rather than just picking cards that you want to try or picking cards to have fun. That doesn't exist anymore. I feel like with EA, they don't help things. Like, for example, friendlies, okay? That's where most of the objectives take place now, are in the online friendlies. Skill-based matchmaking is in friendlies now. Why have they done that? Like, it completely defeats the purpose of a friendly, which means every single friendly match, whether it's Silver Stars tournament, which should be one of the most chillaxed and you know, enjoyable modes in the game, is now super sweaty. And obviously it's still less sweaty than like FUT Champs, but it's still majorly sweaty. Like, if you play Silver Stars, you know, it might be pretty casual one week, but another week you'll be playing some pretty sweaty players. And on top of that, EA hasn't really utilised the different game modes in friendlies. Like, there was one objective for a rule breaker Akinfenwa that was a no rules objective. What a great idea that was. Not only was the objective super fun to grind out, but you got yourself a rule breaker Akinfenwa, which was a super fun card. They've not done anything like that since then. I can't recall anything else that's been like a fun card to grind out like that. Now every single objective is max chemistry or managerial masterpiece, which is fine. You know, they're fine, but I just, like, we should have mystery ball objectives for players and packs, stuff like that. You know, it would bring back that casual fun element to FIFA. But again, if like you had more people just kind of having fun with the game in terms of the gameplay and the different teams, and not just abusing the meta, you would have like more variety in the actual gameplay. People wouldn't just be playing the exact same way.
If you can honestly look into your heart and tell me you want me to leave, I'll go.
Okay, leave.
Wow, did you look in your heart?
I kind of just miss playing casual FIFA, you know? I do kind of miss it. I wish we could just have, like, I was talking about this on stream the other day. I wish there was 2 different champions. There was one for the week and one for the weekend. The weekend league, you know, is as normal. You know, it could be as sweaty as it wants to be. And then I think there should be another one in the middle of the week, because you know, there's barely ever anything to do in the week other than wait till 6 o'clock to see if there's content and maybe play drafts. But for the most part, there's nothing to do in the week with FIFA. I feel like they should have a separate FUT Champs that has different requirements, like, and maybe is like a little bit less games. Let's say it was like 20 games and it was like you know, you had like 5 days to complete it during the week, so a lot more casual, a lot less sweaty, and it would have like different requirements. So like one week you could have like a silver requirement, so you can only have silver players, so it's basically a silver FUT Champions one week. Another week it could be a full, I don't know, Saudi Arabian League team. Another week it could be a co-op FUT Champions, so you'd have to play with a friend or someone online. I just don't understand why EA doesn't think of like these fun things that they could add to the game for the more casual players, because again, there literally all the modes. Like, think of all the modes in FIFA. You have FUT Draft, which is casual, but it costs 15,000 coins, so you know, for the most part, unless you just want to spend your money, which most people don't, you're not going to do drafts, right? So that's the one casual mode. You have friendlies, which on paper is casual, but it's not because of skill-based matchmaking. You have rivals, which is quite possibly more sweaty than FUT Champs, at least in my opinion. I struggle more with rivals than I do champs a lot of the time. And then of course you have FUT Champions, so pretty much you're left with absolutely no casual modes. It's quite ridiculous. But if EA just added some fun casual modes on top of what they have already, all good. We'd have fun again. We could have fun, and then you wouldn't have to be a super sweat to enjoy the game. You wouldn't have to spend your money and swipe that credit card to enjoy the game. No. Yeah, lads, I think I'm gonna wrap things up, okay? I hope you did enjoy this little, I don't know, like nostalgia / critique of FIFA 21 / I don't know what it was, boys and girls. This would have been a lot easier if I could have just played Ultimate Team, because I would have just, you know, played Ultimate Team, and then I wouldn't have had to, you know, just describe the great things about FIFA 14. I could have showed you. But yeah, boys, if you did enjoy this video, please like the video, okay? It will help me massively in terms of like the algorithm and stuff like that, because the algorithm is being super weird right now. I feel like my videos aren't getting recommended and pushed out, but that like button will actually help a lot. I don't like asking for people to hit that like button. It just sounds, I don't know, a little bit cringy and forced, but it would actually go a long way if you enjoyed the video. But yeah, boys and girls, I'll see you guys in the next one, alright? Peace.